work progresses. Just thought I'd make this video showing a little more progress, including the fact that even if you think you have enough room to build a Voron, think again. This entire tabletop is now covered with Voron parts. Obviously, I've got the frame here. I got my tablet sitting where the bed still needs to be mounted. And I'm working on the gantry, which is the part that goes in here, and the belts make it go up and down. And there it is. Those three pieces and this fourth one here, they all have their rails attached and greased. And yeah, I just need to put all the pieces together to make the gantry, and then put the gantry on the printer. But yeah, just shocked at how much room this takes. This thing is a beast. It is huge. Haven't had too many problems. I did have one of the printed parts, I think it's this idler, one of the two, they snap together. So one of the pieces has a couple alignment like tabs, a couple millimeters wide by a few millimeters long. There's a straight one and then there's like a curved one. One of them was snapped off the part when I got it, and then as I pulled the snapped part out of the part that it got stuck in, which I mean it was the other half of the part, I then looked at the other side and just barely pushed on the tab, the other locking tab, and it just snapped right off the part. So there's some kind of layer adhesion with the tabs. So I acetone welded the part together. I've told the place I got the parts from that happened. I haven't heard back. I don't know if they're going to send me another one of those or not. They're still sending me ones that got damaged in shipping. This looks like somebody put the two parts together to test fit and then pulled them apart and didn't notice that the tab from the one piece that has the tab snapped off in the slot of the other piece. And then, like I said, when I pulled it out, the tab out of the slot, I used some needle nose pliers, and it took a few layers at a time until I got an X-Acto knife and popped it out. So the layer adhesion obviously was not right. And then the other side, I put the two pieces together, and the other side just snapped right off the other tab. So not too happy about that, but I decided to 3D weld the areas that had tabs, and that seemed to work. I've never done it before. First time I've dealt with ABS parts. I think these are ABS and not ASA. Actually, I need to go back and check. I'm not sure. Let it put some acetone with a Q-tip on the areas that were supposed to be with the key in the indentation, and then clamped two clamps on it for it to dry for a couple hours. Took the clamps off and it was still stuck together. Then I put this accent piece on the top, which has a bolt that goes through. That also holds it together and holds a couple bearings in here where a belt rides. So I think it's fine, other than I'm now doubting the layers adhesion of all of the gray parts I got. Still have quite a few parts and pieces left to do, and going through all the gray parts. If it'll focus on this, here's an example. This piece here, the first layer is separating for the rest of the part. This is the worst um, the worst of the parts, but also these. Not sure if it's going to focus. You might be able to see there looks like a very small gap between the first layer and the rest of the print. First layer prints this way, so that's the first layer. And I can actually stick an X-Acto knife in there a little ways, so I'm sure I could probably rip that first layer off if I tried. So yeah, not too happy with that, but at this point it is what it is, and I want to get this thing put together, so this fix is fine, and if I get a new one, then I'll decide whether to take the gantry off the printer, break this one apart with pliers to get the hardware out of it, and then use the replacement part, or I'll probably just keep this as it is, keep my eye on it, and if they send me a replacement, use the replacement as a spare. I'm also thinking, even though I wasn't sure I was going to print ABS with this, due to the fumes, I do have the kit came with the Nevermore charcoal filter parts, the fans and the wiring, but it didn't come with the surround. You're supposed to print that. So I think I might try to actually print ABS on this, if for no other reason than at this point I have some doubts about the gray filament used in the parts I got, and I'm thinking the best thing I could probably do is try and get it so I can print the Nevermore, so I have the charcoal filter, and then try and print all of the mechanical gray parts, spares of all of them. Anything that has bolts going through it and tension, and I'm just, yeah, I'm a little unsure of the quality, so that's the update. It's going along. Still gonna have all the electronics to do. The bed I didn't do yet because it's lighter without the bed, so I can move this around until I need to put the bed on. But yeah, gantry is taking up half of the table over there.